All right, it's Free Therapy Wednesday. Each week, we like to check in with Dr. Laura Saunders for a little midweek pick-me-up.
Yeah, today we are talking about the 5 building blocks of a joyful family life. Dr. Laura Saunders is joining us now. Thank you for being here for our free therapy.
Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. And yes, we are talking as we're entering February, thinking positive towards warmer, nicer, sunnier weather. We're thinking about the things, and these are fairly simple things. We're not talking rocket science here, folks. Fairly simple things we can do to bring a little bit more joy and a little bit more peace into our families.
All right, so you're calling them ingredients, which I love. Ingredients for a successful, happy family.
Yeah, for this family recipe. Okay, so let's talk about the first one. And these are kind of basic things.
They are basic, right? And that's what I love about it is that we're not really asking people to do extraordinary things. And the acronym is SWEEP, and this comes from a psychiatrist out west, Charles Sophie, right? So SWEEP, the first is sleep, prioritizing sleep for all of us. It just is about feeling better about ourselves, having better energy, and prioritizing sleep.
Yeah, I mean, we know when we don't sleep well, I know
when I don't sleep well, it sets me up for, like, I get cranky.
Oh, yeah.
And, and then you pick fights with your family members. It's not good. Sleep is so imperative.
Right. It trickles down. That irritability and that low energy trickles down and affects everyone.
Yeah, and then we have less patience for our kids. Number 2, work. And you might not think of work as something that adds joy, but when we have a purpose, it really elevates our family and our mental health.
I want to think about work a little differently. Work is what brings your life value. It's not just the work that you do during the day, but what are your values? How do you live your values? What do you do to create meaning? You can work at home. You can work outside of the home. You can go to school. That's your work. But what brings you meaning? How do you live your values? And really, how do you create meaning for things that might feel mundane, but you don't want to live your life in such a mundane way?
Yeah, I changed my life back in 1990. I said, I'm not going to do this job that I was at, and I was not feeling I was having an impact. And I said, I'm going to get into television and have an impact.
And look what happened.
And we've all benefited from that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Okay, eating. Right now, we're having a problem because Scott can't eat because he has to go get his blood work. But if we're not eating at least basic nutrition, then we can really be crashing.
Yeah, it's just bringing in a little bit more healthful habits to your life, trying not to eat so much junk, reducing, and by eating, it could be drinking a little less, including a little more healthful foods, and improving some of the quality of what you're bringing into your bodies.
Yeah, I noticed in this cleanse that Karen and I are doing, the lack of alcohol has really helped me sleep better.
Really?
Reduce the puffiness in my face, and it makes me overall feel better.
That's great. And yeah, it was one of the things you talked about before. I think it was on Akara's Cures, but just reducing alcohol. We kind of can't ignore that it's a toxin.
It is a toxin for the body.
There it is.
There you go. You look good.
Sweet and simple.
Okay.
All right. Emotional expression. Talk to us about that.
So it's about allowing the members of the family, learning as parents how to identify and talk about how you feel, and then teaching that to your kids. The more we bottle things up, the more we repress things, the more we create shame and guilt and all these other negative emotions without offsetting it with positive emotions. It just creates a lot of bad energy and a lot of bad feelings. So we need to learn how to express ourselves in positive and healthy ways.
So, kids are famous for kind of blowing up, but we're teaching them that we sort of don't want to do that, right? So when you're giving your kids space for emotional expression, you're not necessarily telling them, no, you're wrong, you shouldn't be sad about that, it's no big deal, every kid goes to school. We're just letting them, a culture where they can vent, and then we can show them how to behave.
Yeah, I mean, you can be upset that you have to go to school, or you could have a little stomach ache, but you still have to go to school, right? We're not excusing people from doing things. We want them to build a little bit of grit, but it's okay to say it's really cold and gray out today. I don't want to get out of bed. I understand you don't want to get out of bed. However, you need to go to school and I need to go to work, so we're getting out of bed, right? So I validate the feeling, but yet continue to move on.
All right, and we only have about 30 seconds for play.
We need to create interests, hobbies, activities, things that we do, things we do as a family, and things we do on our own as adults as well. Create meaning by having fun activities, things that we look forward to.
And we're role models for our children. That's also what you emphasize.
We are all role models for each other and definitely for our children.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
some sage advice there.
Absolutely. We got to make time for play. All right. Thank you, Dr. Saunders.
Have a great day.
You too.
And coming up next, you can check out